If a dealer tells you to decide today on a campervan purchase, walk out. I'm about to show you the 3 tactics dealers are using right now in 2026 to lock you into vans that can cost you $20,000 to $40,000 in the first year. I've tracked dealer inventory shifts, markup trends, and buyer complaints across the US and Europe. What I found? 2026 is a minefield for first-time buyers. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly when to walk out, what to counter with, and which vans dealers hope you won't compare. Let's start with the biggest trap. Right now, dealers are sitting on 2023 and early 2024 Winnebago Revel and Storyteller Overland Classic Mode inventory that hasn't moved, and they're slashing prices, sometimes $15,000 to $25,000 off MSRP. Sounds like a deal, right? Wrong. Dealers don't discount vans out of kindness. They discount vans they're bleeding money on. Here's what they won't tell you. These vans were built during the post-COVID supply chain chaos. Cheaper components, rushed assembly, and now, 2 years later, warranty issues are spiking. Electrical gremlins, lithium battery failures, poorly sealed windows. I'm seeing Facebook groups flooded with owners stuck with $8,000 repair bills after their 1-year warranty expires. Compare that to 2025 and 2026 models, where sourcing stabilized, battery management was upgraded, and structural mounting issues were finally fixed. You save $10,000 today and risk $8,000 to $15,000 later. That's not a deal, that's a gamble. But here's where it gets worse, and this one surprises even veteran buyers. The diesel bait and switch. Dealers are aggressively pushing diesel 4x4 vans, Mercedes 2500, and Ford Transit AWD diesels, especially to retirees and families planning full-time travel. They'll sell you on fuel economy and torque. And yeah, diesel gets you 20 to 22 mpg versus 14 to 16 mpg for gas. But here's the reality check nobody's giving you. Diesel exhaust systems are failing earlier than expected on 2022 to 2024 builds. I'm talking $4,000 to $7,000 DEF system replacements at 40 to 60,000 miles. That wipes out your fuel savings instantly. And here's what most buyers don't factor in. Diesel resale is getting weaker every year. If you're planning to travel through Europe, diesel fuel is being phased out in urban centers. Paris, Amsterdam, and Milan have already restricted diesel vehicles in city zones. By 2028, you might not even be able to park in half the places you want to visit. That doesn't limit travel, it limits who will buy your van later. Meanwhile, the gas V6 Ford Transit and Ram ProMaster are cheaper upfront, cheaper to maintain, and more flexible for urban travel. Yes, you'll pay more at the pump, but you won't be stranded with a $6,000 repair bill in rural Spain. Now let me show you the psychological trick dealers are using to close you fast and why it's costing buyers thousands. The pressure close. Have you heard this line? We have 3 other buyers looking at this van. If you don't put a deposit down today, it'll be gone by tomorrow. That's manufactured urgency, and it works because buying a camper van is emotional. You're dreaming about freedom, adventure, waking up in the mountains. Dealers exploit that. Here's the truth. In 2026, the campervan market is oversupplied. COVID-era demand crashed. Manufacturers overproduced. Dealers are sitting on 90 to 120-day inventory when the industry standard is 45 days. Translation? They need you more than you need them. So when they pressure you, flip the script. Say, I need 2 weeks to compare financing and get a pre-purchase inspection. If they panic, you've already won. A calm dealer with nothing to hide will never rush you. If they say no, that van has hidden issues they don't want a mechanic to find. But what if you do find a good deal? There's one thing you absolutely must check before handing over money, and 80% of buyers skip this step. The inspection blind spot. Rule number 1 of smart buying: no inspection, no deal. Never buy a campervan without a third-party pre-purchase inspection, not the dealer's mechanic, not your buddy who's good with cars, a certified RV or campervan inspector. Why? Because dealers are hiding frame rust, poorly installed aftermarket solar, and amateur electrical work. I just reviewed a case where a buyer purchased a 2024 Winnebago Echo, gorgeous inside, only to discover the chassis had significant rust from sitting on a coastal lot for 18 months. The dealer didn't notice. The repair? $11,000. An inspection costs $300 to $600. It'll uncover structural rust or frame damage, water intrusion, the N1 killer of campervans, electrical system flaws, suspension and brake issues. And here's the kicker. If the dealer refuses to let you get an independent inspection, walk away. That's a flashing red flag that something's wrong. All right, here's my most controversial opinion, and some of you are going to hate this. This isn't about age, it's about how manufacturers market fear and fantasy. If you're over 60 and planning full-time van life, do not buy a 4x4 off-road campervan. I know, the marketing is sexy, the Instagram photos of vans on mountain passes are stunning, but here's the reality. Most retirees never use 4x4. You're camping in established campgrounds, national parks, and RV-friendly spots, not rock crawling in Moab. You're paying $25,000 to $40,000 extra for a capability you'll use twice. That money could go into a better mattress, a larger solar system, or, here's a wild idea, more travel. Instead, buy a well-built Ram ProMaster-based conversion or a gas Ford Transit build like the Coachman Beyond. Lighter, cheaper, easier to drive, better fuel economy. Save the cash. Use it to actually live the life you're buying the van for. So, who should actually buy in 2026? Let me break it down simply. Buy if you're looking at 2025 or 2026 model year vans from reputable builders like Winnebago, Pleasureway, or Airstream Interstate. You're financing under 6% APR with at least 20% down. You've gotten an independent inspection. You're buying for your actual use case, not Instagram fantasies. Avoid if the dealer is pushing 2022 to 2024 leftover inventory hard. They're pressuring you to decide today. They're selling you features you'll never use, looking at you non-necessary 4x4. The price feels too good to be true. It is. The worst buyer in 2026 is the rushed buyer. Look, a campervan is an $80,000 to $200,000 decision. Dealers make money whether you're happy or not. Your job is to stay cold, stay logical, and buy smart, not fast. Now, I want to hear from you. What exact line did a dealer use that made you walk or almost walk? Drop your story in the comments. I read every single one, and I guarantee someone else here needs to hear it. And if this saved you from a bad decision, share it with someone who's shopping right now. See you in the next one.